Welcome to the Rat Race to 5 podcast, where we discuss money, mindset, real estate investing, and ways to achieve financial independence. Whether you are a rookie or a veteran needing new ideas for investing or creating side hustles, you're in the right place. Here to challenge you to think out of the box, your hosts, Felipe Mejia and Diego Corzo.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Rat Race to 5 podcast. I got my co-host here, Diego. Diego's actually in Florida with his family right now, spending Mother's Day days with his family down there. Today we have an amazing guest. Emelyn comes on and tells a story of how she's been able to acquire 7 doors. She talks about she's got a special needs kid, immigrated to this country, didn't speak English, and you didn't let that become an excuse. Got a bachelor's degree, 2 masters, no student debt. Her story blew my mind.
Yeah, one of the most amazing part of her story is how she was able to accomplish all of that while being undocumented, and all the no's that she had to go through when she was trying to apply for scholarships and trying to just achieve the American dream or on that process. So her story is super inspiring because she went through the same struggles that I did. So I could really identify myself in her story. So yeah, everybody's going to love it. I can't even wait to see what she's going to be doing in the future. So yeah, you guys are in for a treat.
Absolutely. Well, before we get over to Emelyn, guys, don't forget that at skipbetter.com, you can skip trace lists for 11 cents per skip. And the best part is that you're only going to pay for skips that come back with results. So if you send in a list of 4,000 and only 3,200 come back skipped, then you're only going to pay 11 cents times the 3,200. So skipbetter.com. All right, let's get to Emelyn. What's up, guys? We're just going to jump right into it. Emelyn, I promise you I'm from the DR.
Oh, I see that. I can hear it in your accent. I can see it in your face.
Oh, man.
And Diego is... where did you say you're from, Diego?
I'm from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Diego's Puerto Rican.
I get that a lot too. Man. Like, we get mixed.
No, I'm Emelyn. I'm Mexican. My family's from Mexico. Yo nací in Nashville, Tennessee, and Diego's Peruvian.
Yes, I'm Peruvian. We're just joking.
I actually, my stepdad is Mexican. He is from Tamaulipas.
No way. Wait. My mom is from Tamaulipas. Where is your dad from?
He spent a lot of time in Tampico, but I don't know specifically. I had never visited Tamaulipas.
Yeah.
So I cannot tell you his little town. But he's been out of there for more than 30 years now. But I have visited Mexico City. I've been in Tlaxcala and Puebla. Actually as a regular person, not as a tourist. I've been on combis. I've been eating and using the metro and all that stuff. Like I went there for about a month, and I was very happy with it. Nunca fui a Cancun. I never been to Cancun, but I've been into regular other parts of Mexico, and I love it.
So my family is from Tamaulipas, and the biggest city close to us is Tampico. So have you ever been to Tampico though?
No.
Okay,
but so his family is in Tampico.
That's crazy. So my family lives close to La Laguna del Lagarto or something like that. Like it's something called like that. But the little town that they live in is called Ciudad Mante.
Oh,
so ask your stepdad. That's really close. That's really cool. Okay,
so I'm considered half Mexican, basically.
There you go. So let's get started. So Emelyn, you are a real estate investor from New York. You have 7 doors. You sent us a message that said, mother from a special needs kid, immigrated from the DR, undocumented for many years, and you just finished 2 masters. Whoa. First of all, applaud to you. Huge accomplishment for any person, let alone undocumented, all the other struggles. But before we get into that, why don't we find out who Emelyn is? Because Emelyn is not what you do. I want to know who you are, what you do, what you like to do. Give us a little background on you, and then we're going to get into your story, if that's okay with you.
That's okay. Well, my name is Emelyn. I am from New York City. I came here from the Dominican Republic 17 years ago to the Bronx, New York. So BX, shout out to my people from the Bronx. When I got married, I moved to Queens, and right now I work in a middle school with middle schoolers. I'm doing school counseling, and I work a lot with parents and kids. I really enjoy that. So I really like my job. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I hate my job. I want to leave it." No, I really enjoy my job working with the kids. In my time off, I'm home with my child. I am a homebody. I like to be home all the time. I love cooking. That's another thing that I like. And I like community. I like making friends. I like talking to people. I like people from different places. I like to learn about them. And I like traveling as well.
That's a lot. Okay. So high school, what were you like in high school? What part of the cliques were you from? Who were your friends? Tell us a little bit more about
I came from DR. When I came from DR, I came in the 10th grade. So I came with no English. I came to John F. Kennedy High School in the Bronx, 5,000 students, huge high school, no English again. So I was in school the whole day. I was perfect attendance. I was really amazing grades, AP classes. But I was undocumented at the time. So when it was time to apply for college, mind you, that was like almost 18 years ago. There was not a lot of opportunities for me out there and college-wise. So I had to apply for the community schools here in New York, which is CUNY. I went to a 4-year college that was very affordable because I paid for it with the help of my parents as well. So yeah, in school, I was a really good student. Good attendance, good classes. So that's why I was laughing the other day when Diego told you, Felipe, oh, we wouldn't have been in the same classes. Because I think I wouldn't have been in the same classes.
First of all,
there
we would have been in the
go.
same. Wow.
Emelyn,
okay, this podcast is over. Emelyn, thank you so much for coming on the Rat Race to 5 podcast. We love you, girl. Get out of here.
Oh, man. Emelyn and I would have been friends then for sure in high school.
I would have been like, guys, I need help with homework. What's up?
That's exactly.
Right.
And let me tell you, Diego, I would have been your friend, of course, but only in the hallways. Like, hi, bye, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. Bye. I'm going to my class. I'm going to do my thing. Because I was friends with a lot of people that were not doing really good in school because I'm friendly. But it was more of like hallway talk than like, I'm going to go to your house. I'm going to be hanging out with you outside of school. No, not like that.
Got it.
But yeah, I would have helped you with your homework though.
Well, I would have appreciated that. So Diego, you were, did you speak English? Like at what grade did you start learning English in school, Diego?
I started learning when I was 9-10 years old. So that was 3rd grade. Okay. I was in ESOL ESL till 5th grade. Mm-hmm.
Is that, because I never had that issue, but for anyone listening that's kind of like struggled with that, does that affect the learning? Does that affect like obviously I know, right, not knowing English and like trying to pick that up while you're also trying to learn. What did you guys feel like during that time, Diego? What was the biggest struggle going through that, especially for our listeners, so they can kind of, put it into perspective for yourself too?
Yeah. So on my end, it was in the beginning, it was more of like, okay, I'm not understanding what my teacher is saying, and she didn't speak Spanish either. So it wasn't until like probably 30 days later that I got put into ESL classes. So I just had to I had to translate everything. And this was before Google Translate or like cell phones. So the dictionary was my best friend. and then it was just a matter of trying to go as slow as I could, trying to understand things. But math was my main subject, right? Because at that point you don't need English. But it was definitely trying to understand, asking my friends to translate for me what the teacher was saying, and then going back home and reviewing everything again. So it was like double the work, because you're trying to like do work in school and then you go home and you're like, okay, I didn't understand anything. Let me rework it. But yeah, what about you, Emelyn?
That was exactly the same situation with me. Dictionary was my best friend. Cousins were my helpers. I will ask them to help me pronounce words. So they will help me with that. A lot of index cards. The dictionary, again, because we didn't have a dictionary.com or any like electronics. I didn't have a computer when I got here. Again, I got here to an apartment in the Bronx with me and my two siblings and my dad, my stepdad, and my mom. And it was a lot. It was a lot. Rent was expensive. My parents have to both to work. But the good thing that I think helped me a lot was having a good educational background in my country. So my Spanish was really good. My studying skills were really good when I was in DR. So I transferred that here, but it is seriously a lot of work. Like Diego mentioned, I had to come back home and redo everything again, translate everything again, learn again, read again. So it was not like I had a time to chill kind of thing. I did spend a lot of time in school. I went to school from 7 to 7 sometimes, to be in after school clubs, to get after school help as well. But let me tell you, I graduated top of my class. I did have a bunch of scholarships, but the fact that I was undocumented during that time, there was not a lot of options out there for me without a social security number. So I had to, of course, take the public option here in the city of New York that was open for undocumented students.
Quick question: what was when you kept on getting rejected, or maybe getting those scholarships, but then telling you, "Hey, we cannot give you the money because you don't have a social, or because we need to see your green card." What did you feel?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I was extremely depressed. After graduating from high school, I was depressed. I was very popular in high school. I had a lot of friends, a lot of teachers that loved me. Going to college for the first time, and also getting all the rejections. It was very depressing. So I think a lot of depression and anxiety started there for me. And I think that there was like a dark moment in my life where I didn't know where to go, what to do, nothing. And I think a lot of people go through the similar experiences, undocumented or not. But it was harder for me because I was like, I put out all the work. I did everything you asked me, and you can still help me. And it was really hard.
Yeah,
I feel like that happens a lot. I hear that a lot, like where immigrants will be like, oh, well, I did everything that I physically could, and I still don't have a yes. And I know that that's going to correlate into real estate and life. So we'll get to that. But that happens all the time, I think, with like friends that I've had that are like, especially with Diego, where like you can do everything right. And because you can't fill in those 9, 10 numbers, whatever, of Social Security, like it all goes away. You could have the best scores, the best this, the best that, and it's still not enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So Emelyn,
Yeah.
how did you end up getting 2 master's degrees?
So I was persistent enough, hard-headed, and I said, okay, you gonna say no, that's fine, but there's another way. The other way is paying for it. So I started working, of course, off the books. Don't tell. And my parents were paid. My parents were undocumented as well, so they were also working in the restaurants here in the city. And they started paying for my bachelor's degree. There were semesters that I couldn't go because my parents couldn't afford. Okay, right. And it took me 10 years to complete my bachelor's degree. A 4-year degree took me 10 years, okay? And it was because of that. There were semesters I couldn't go to school because my parents couldn't afford it. We still had to pay rent. Rent in New York City is really expensive. Everything in New York City is really expensive. So it took me 10 years. So I graduated when I was 29, 28 from the bachelor's degree. And right away, when I got married, I started my master's degree right away, and that's how I ended up doing 2 masters. And the good thing that I paid my master's out of pocket, because I was so used to paying out of pocket that I didn't need to take no loan. I was like, I don't need that. Let me pay for my master's. So I did pay my 2 masters, almost $30,000 out of pocket with no help.
Good for you.
So that's
Good.
why I ended up with no what is it called?
No debt, student loans.
Debt, no student loans.
That's
And
insane.
here I am.
Okay.
Freed of student loans.
I love that. And
That's awesome.
yeah, that's huge.
awesome.
Emelyn, so you were able to get through your bachelor's, your master's, basically con puras ganas, right? So after that, we're going to talk real estate. But before we talk real estate, we had another New Yorker on the podcast. I can't remember what episode she was, but I asked her the same questions about the bodegas in New York, the famous bodegas. Look, I just saw you perk up. What was your breakfast order at the bodegas? Because I got to go do it one day. But what?
You could take, I could say the bagel and cheese and eggs, bacon, egg, and cheese is one of them. And also, I think I would do personally now a toast and a coffee. It's really cheap, really good. It's amazing. But bodegas are everywhere here, and every corner you should come visit the city. You will find one. But what I wasn't really a fan of bodega food per se breakfast. Maybe you could say picada. I don't know how they say it in your country, but in my country they say picadera. They do like fried meat, fries, totones. I don't know if you guys know about totones, but totones. So they do all this in a pile, and then you take it home. And if you're drinking, your friends will love it. So they do that in the back of the bodega. It's not like, I don't think it's legal to sell, but they do it in the back of the bodega, and it's really good. And yeah, bodegas are iconic places here in the city.
That's crazy. Yeah, we had a New Yorican come on. Yeah. So her name is Christina Minio. She's an awesome young lady out in Atlanta who's also doing flips and buying holes, and she's changing her market. So it's super awesome. Okay, so let's move on to real estate. Emelyn, you got 2 master's degree. Why did you want to do real estate? What was going on there? Give us the story.
So I have a child with special needs. My son has autism. So ever since he was born, I always saw that he was different. We discovered that he was with autism when he was 3. And I started thinking, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like, what about when I'm not here anymore? Like, I'm not gonna live forever. So how I'm gonna set up something for this child to have a network of support when I'm gone and my husband is gone. So you're going to think this is crazy. I'm not super religious, but I'm Christian. And there was one day during the pandemic, by the way, 2020, I was laying on my bed and I was sleeping, and I woke up to a voice that said, buy a house.
Let's go.
That was weird. I was like, I'm by myself. I was like, who said that? Like, what? So I wake up to this boy saying, buy a house. I was like, oh, okay. I started looking at Zillow. I always look on Zillow for fun. Always. I don't know why. That's weird. But I always look on Zillow for fun. So I was looking on Zillow for fun and thinking like, oh, it is too hard. Oh my God, these houses are too expensive. Where am I going to get all this money to buy a house? Like, I don't know how real estate works. Like, oh my God. Okay, so I started thinking about it, started looking. I told a cousin who also is thinking about it still since that time. She already did her LLC. She had like the whole plan. She read all the Bigger Pockets books, but she hasn't done anything yet, actually. And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about buying a house to do, to be a landlord and real estate. She's like, oh, read books and, learn and stuff like that. So I started buying books. I bought the first book that helped me so much was the book on rental property investing from Brandon Turner for the Bigger Pocket. Like, I think that's his most popular one. I bought that one, read it. After I bought that book and read it, I felt kind of ready. I said, oh my God, I feel kind of ready. I can do this. So I looked on Zillow and started looking in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is 3 hours, 2.5 hours away from New York City. I felt that if something happened, I could go there driving. So I don't have to take any planes or anything like that. So I was like, okay, that's close enough. So I look at the prices. The prices didn't seem outrageous. We're talking about 70, 65. We're talking about 50. right? So I called on the number on Zillow, and they connected me to a lady who was very real estate investing friendly. She was investor friendly. So she hooked me up with a whole bunch of other people. And awesome. When I go to Pennsylvania to look at the houses that she wanted to show me, they were all teared down. Oh my God, they were all ugly. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to buy this? Ew. Oh, no. You come with the New York City mentality. And when she tells me the prices of rent, I was like, excuse me, rent is $600? What are you talking about? What is that? Like, where I come from, rent is almost $2,000. What are you talking? The minimum is like $2,000. So I ended up firing this realtor. And the reason why, and I know this sounds mean, but the reason why is maybe she wasn't fast enough for me. I'm a texter, so I text a lot, and she was kind of an older lady, so she wasn't into texting. So I was like, okay, I cannot wait until I could talk to you on the phone to be able to get an answer. Like, I need you to text me, so I ended up finding the lady, and after she showed me a few houses, one thing I learned during that time is to do your inspection. Please do your inspections. There was a house she showed me that after inspection came back, the house was horrible. I mean, it looked fine, but there was foundation issues, electrical issues that were really, really expensive. So after that, I said, you know what, I can't deal with you anymore. I'm sorry, I will move on. So I went back into Facebook. I am part of a whole bunch of Facebook groups. I went back into Facebook, and I put it on the post. I'm looking for a real estate investor friendly agent, and the person that I'm with now and helped me get my 7 doors came out and said, hey, I can help you. Met her on Facebook. She sold me a house through Facebook. I signed the papers without seeing this property. Okay. And the rest is history. I started with 1 door. Now I am in 7, and I know my goal is 10 this year. So I know I will continue to grow from here. I have a duplex now. I have a triplex. I have 2 single houses. I had worked with hard money lenders, private money lenders, and regular banks.
Whoa, okay.
I think I have done a lot. And
yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. How'd you pick your market? How'd you trust the realtor? You bought it off of Facebook. You never saw it. Hard money, private. Where do you want to get started?
and also, like, with her having a full-time job and being a mom to a special needs kid.
Yep. There's a lot to unpack. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with the obvious. It's got to be hard to raise a special needs kids and invest in real estate. So if you don't mind me asking, how'd you do it? Because that ain't easy.
Calendar, a lot of calendaring, a lot of help as well. My mother helps me a lot. She comes and babysit my son after school. He goes to school. He had a lot of other therapy, so my husband takes him to the therapy while I work. So it's a lot of teamwork. Yeah, it's a lot of teamwork at home. So it's not just teamwork for real estate, but also my home life. It's a team effort. We have my in-laws, my mom, my husband, all together working towards raising this child, right? And he's an adorable 4-year-old, very smart, and he's dealing with autism at this moment, and I know he's going to do it for the rest of his life because that's something that doesn't go away, but he's going to be fine because he has a team.
Let's go. We're all rooting for him. So let's just go in sequence then with this. You met a realtor on Facebook, an investor-friendly realtor, who you still use now. This is the importance of your team for everyone listening. Finding the right investor-friendly realtor. Emelyn, let me ask you, and then I'm going to ask Diego the same thing, and I'll answer also. What are the top 3 things that you would tell someone that's looking for an investor-friendly realtor to look for when finding a realtor that you think is going to help you? What are the top 3 things? Like, I know there's hundreds of things, but what would you say is just 3 things you would look for?
For me, that she knows people, connections, that she knows banks, that she knows the city people, the inspection people, like, all these people that she could point you for that. So you don't have to be looking yourself in a market, in a place that you don't know, because I don't live there. I don't know anybody there. I only know her, right? I don't have a cousin there. Right. So that's 1. And 2, that very responsive, that says what she's going to, or he's going to do it. And the other thing, responsive availability, that knows people. And I could say there is an investor herself or himself. That'll be great if you could get that. Somebody that knows the struggle. That knows.
That's a great way to put it. A realtor that knows the struggle. That's textbook. That's going to be in the title of this. How to find a great realtor who knows the struggle.
Exactly.
Diego, what would you say?
Dude, every single thing that she said, it's something that I would have said. And the one additional thing, I guess, but it comes to the struggle, right? At the end of the day, is like they have to know the types of homes that you want to be investing in, right? If you're gonna be going more with a realtor that is more like that may not flip as much, or that may not have the resources. Again, the resources and the network is gonna be the most important thing for anybody that is in the starting stages of investing. They need to be your go-to person for like, hey, I need somebody that can fix an HVAC unit. I need a roofer. I need a yard person. All of that stuff. They should be your resource. So that for me is one of the most important things.
I love that. The only thing I would add is communication. Will the realtor work on the weekends? Text me after 5:00. Like, can we submit offers at 7:30 at night? Like, I want to make sure that, they're not like, all right, my phone is off at 5 p.m. or 3 or whatever. So
I actually had to say that mine is the same way. Like she does all of that. And the good thing about mine that I cannot let her go is that she knows a lot of wholesalers, off-market deals. She knows a lot of those. So she brings a lot of off-market deals. My first property was on market. My other doors have not been on market. So I like that about her, that it's not just what's on market, it's also off-market stuff that we could get. She also does property managing in the side. So she's my property manager as well. And nice. So she also has a rehab contracting company. So she does the 3 things. And I like that because I could talk to her about rehab right away. I could talk to her about renting right away. So she tells me right away, listen, I found a house for this much. It's going to rent this much. The ARV is going to be this much. And the rehab is this much. You want it? What do you think? Do your numbers. I already did them. And she shows me her number. I show her my number. And since I could do the numbers a little faster now, I could say yes right away.
So you're gonna give us your realtor, right? So that everyone can go and hit her up.
Yeah, I did that in a Facebook group, and she had a lot of people reaching out.
I was gonna say, she's probably gonna say next question. Emelyn, okay, so sounds like you found the golden realtor, right? And that's what Diego is in Austin. He's a realtor. He knows how to help people there. Sounds like you found a great. Did you tell us what market you're in?
I am in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Got it. Okay.
And it's like the 4th largest city in Pennsylvania. And how did I pick that? I gotta tell you.
Tell us. Yes.
So I work in a school. During the pandemic, my kids were going to this place. They were like, "Oh, miss, I'm leaving. Where you going?" "I'm going to Pennsylvania." What the hell are they doing in Pennsylvania? Everybody's leaving over there, right? So everybody was running away from the pandemic and running away from the fact that there was no jobs at this moment and rent was really expensive here. They moved to Pennsylvania. A lot of my kids were telling me Reading. Oh, it's pronounced reading, like reading. So they were saying, "Oh, we're going to Reading," and I'm like, "Okay, let me look that up. I don't know what's going on there." So after the pandemic, Reading became the 4th largest city in Pennsylvania after Philadelphia, Allentown, and Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh and Allentown and Philadelphia are really expensive right now. So reading is like less expensive for me at this point.
Got it. So Realtor, found a great realtor on a Facebook group. That was awesome. How did you fund all these deals? I can't imagine New York is cheap and you have kids, a husband. Where are you finding the money to do this?
Well, so let me tell you. So the first
You're
property,
rich, right? Is that what it is?
No.
You got a rich uncle?
No. So since I didn't have any student debt, I don't have a car because I use the train, and New York City is really hard to have. I mean, I have a house in Queens and I have a yard and where I can park my car, but I don't have a car because where I work, there's no parking. So there's no point of having a car. So I don't have a car. I don't have student debts. My credit card debts are really minimum, like, well, $500. And so I went and had $20,000 safe. In savings. After paying my master's, I had $20,000 left, and I went and to a bank
You went and got Gucci belts, Louis Vuitton purses.
No,
okay.
None of that. No, I live under my budget because I barely go out, and I'm not telling people to not go out. That's my way. Like, that's who I am personally. I'm not a party person. I'm not out there spending my money like that. So my husband is a police officer in New York City as well. So he takes care of all the bills in the house while I save for real estate. And this is how it works. So he pays for all the bills in the house. I only pay for babysitting here for the child. And that's about it. Everything else I save for real estate. So I had $20,000 saved for real estate. I got into it with a loan, a regular loan with a bank under my name. I had really good credit score. And that's how I started. Like, then move on to hard money lending, where hard money lending, I saved again money for it, and I gave my 20% to the hard money lender. For the private money lender, it was not like that. The private money lender covered 98% of the purchase.
Wow.
Okay. But private money, it's really expensive. So he's doing 11% now for me. And then the hard money, it's 10%. But we finished this rehabs like 4 months. So it's really quick. So by the time I get to pay them, like maybe the first or second month, we're already finishing and we're already refinancing. And the refinance had been really great too with local banks as well.
Got it. And what has been, for example, can you give us the numbers on one of them with the hard money guy and also the other person, the other lender?
The private? Okay.
Yeah. So
for hard money, I bought the triplex for $130,000. The hard money lender only paid 66% of rehab. They did not do 100% of rehab. Not all of them do 100% of rehab right away. Maybe when they establish a relationship with you, they will do more. But this is a game of relationships, right? So for my first time, 130 for purchasing, 66% of rehab. Right now, I'm paying him is 10% or 9% or 10%. So I'm paying him $1,100 a month, but that didn't start right away. It started 3 months after. So I'm gonna start making my first payment in July for that. Okay, so by that time I'm already gonna be doing refinancing. And I know Felipe doesn't like the BRRRR. But I gotta tell you that it has worked wonders for me at this
Emelyn,
moment.
let me explain something though. You are doing what you gotta do to make this work, comma, no excuses. Whether it's Burr, hard money, private money, I don't care. You got started, and to me, that's so powerful. Like, I don't care what strategy you use. Once you become more of a sophisticated investor and you have more financing, use your own lines of credits. But
which
there
I
is
will.
no
I
excuse.
actually learned that from you.
There is no excuse to not getting started. Your story alone is the underdog killing it and crushing it. Most people wouldn't even have gotten their bachelor's. You got your bachelor's, you got 2 masters, and now you have 7 rentals, and you're going to have 50 rentals. I don't see you stopping anytime soon. Las ganas que tú tienes, that I'm sure comes from being an immigrant in this country and not taking no for an answer, is what's going to make you extra uber successful, because a bank is going to tell you no, and you're literally going to turn around and say, yeah, I've heard that 100 times in my life. On to the next one. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, no one cares. But we get people that will be like, yeah, a couple banks told me no, so I guess I can't do it until whatever. And it's like, no, like, you don't understand. That's just another no to get out of the way before you have to get your next one. Immigrants that have come to this country and have had to like struggle through, no, you can't go to college. No, you can't drive. No, you can't get a job. No. Like, that eventually you just get numb to the no. And it's like, okay, great. I've been told that 100 times. I've still had to figure it out anyway. So like, it's huge what you're doing. So you talked a little bit about the numbers and how your lending works. Go into now the refinance process, and what do you see what do you see yourself investing in going forward?
Well, I think that my best bet right now are multifamilies. Families, right. I think multifamilies are great. My triplex is renting out very good. I think that triplex and duplex is something I'm looking into more than single houses. Single houses are not as fun. I feel like now that I have 2 single houses and
boring. I don't want to buy those.
I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say no like that, but like, I'm just saying like, it's just like more fun when it's triplex and duplexes, and the money is more fun in that sense. The other thing I could say is that banks, I have relationship with local banks, like local credit unions, like right there in Reading, who know the area. They're not like some bank far away. They've never been there. No. They know. So when they do their, they also get an independent appraisal. The appraisal person is somebody that knows the market. It's not just a random person looking at a computer in Florida. No. This person is from the market. They know the market. So when they're going to appraise my houses, they see, they know, they like, okay, this is value at this much. And I like that because it works out perfectly for me when the person knows all the effort that we put in, all the good work, and they had been in other houses in other places in the area, so they could tell you right away like, oh, this is this much, this is that much. So I think that working with local people has been amazing. Everyone in my team is local, everyone but me. I'm from New York City, but everyone else is from that area.
Yeah.
And
the lenders, everything.
And so, for example, for that triplex, you bought it for how much, and how much was the rehab, and what's the ARV?
It's in a historical area. I bought it for 130. When we appraised for the first appraisal, we did without fixing. It appraised to 187. Without no fixing, right? And now it's about 280.
And how much did you put in? How much to fix?
I had put in 60,000. Okay, so let's say 180 all in, and then now it appraised to 280. I think I'll get all my money back, like everything that I spent, I will get it back. I'll pay the hard money lender, and then I'll still have some money left to continue. I am actually thinking on my first house, the first that I bought on my name, to do the line of credit that Felipe promotes.
Talk about that. How would you use the line of credit? Everyone here's my strategy. How would you explain it?
Well, what I would say is that I'll go to the bank and say, I have some equity sitting there that's not doing nothing. I want to use it. I would take maybe $40,000 on the line of credit that I have in that house and use it to either put it for a down payment for something else, or use it as a line to rehab. So like that, I don't have to be using my credit cards and all my savings. The point here is not to use my money. The less money from my pocket I use, the best. So I'm using other people's money or like lines of credits or stuff like that. But I don't really want to tap much on my savings anymore. Like I used to do that when I was starting, but now that I know the game, once you get comfortable, you'll know that, oh, there's other opportunities and other monies out there that you can use, not just yourself, like your money. Yeah. So I would do that. I would use my line of credit on that house for that. And another thing is like my current residence where I live is ours as well. So there's maybe $200,000 sitting here, and I'm trying to convince my husband, let's use it. You know, Felipe. Let me play Felipe's video so you know what I mean.
Girl, don't get me in trouble, okay? Don't get me in trouble
No,
now.
because you know the thing is that my husband is not into real estate. He's not. He applauds everything I do. He likes it, but he's not a person that will sit with me and do the numbers. So when I was explaining what you were saying about the line of credit, I was like, it's the same thing that we did with our retirement fund. We took money out of our retirement fund to purchase. So it's the same thing. We're going to put it back as soon as we get the money back from the refinance, right? So it's the same thing. The line of credit, you can use it as a credit card. It's like a credit card. You use it, you pay back. And that's something that we are looking into. But let me tell you, there's a few banks that I reach out to say no, but I know there are banks out there. So I reach out to a group of people that I know on Facebook, and I say, hey, give me names of banks that do line of credits on investment properties. And I already have like 5. So I'm going to call them and be like, hey, what's up? You know, so use your resources, use your friends, the people that you know on your groups. They have tons of information they could give you and help you out. Sometimes I feel like I don't know something, and I just go on that group and people give me an answer or give me an idea of how to do it. And that's how I actually get it done. A lot of people with a lot of resources. So again, this is a game of relationship. The more people you know, the better. And they don't have to be fancy people. They don't have to be rich people. They don't have to be like gurus or something. No, there are people just like you and me who know things. So they're just quiet. Just don't go sharing, right? They're just quiet.
Yeah, you just have to ask the right questions. I feel like the opportunities are out there. People have the knowledge. It's just you deciding, hey, I'm just gonna ask it, right? Because sometimes people can be shy or I don't want to. What if they say no? But yeah, you are doing everything the right way, and I am so excited to see how you continue to grow. Yeah, this is awesome.
I agree. Emelyn, I am curious. Why did you want to tell your story?
Why did I want to tell my story? You know, I felt that. So there was the other day I posted on Facebook. There's a group I am on Facebook, and I posted my story, a few highlights of my story, and people were like, "Oh my God, how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it?" I had over 100 DMs of people telling me, "I want to do it, but I'm afraid." I was like, "What? What do you mean? If I did it, you could do it." Like I was doing my second master's when I started this. I have a child with special needs. There's no buts. Like if you want to do it, you could. But it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of work, and of course a lot of organizing. But you have it in you. You have it. A lot of people told me, but I come from a background that has nothing to do with real estate. I'm like, me either. I'm a school counselor, dude. Like, what are you talking about? I deal with kids. What makes you think? So the skills that I learned in my school counseling career, I could transfer some of them here. And one of them is making relationship. One of them is talking to people. So you could do the same thing. A lot of the skills that you know from your previous career or your current career, you could transfer to real estate if you apply in the specific way, right? So a lot of people were afraid. A lot of people said they have the savings. A lot of people say, I've been studying for 3 years and I can't seem to start. I'm afraid to go to a market that I don't know. I'm afraid to go out of state. I'm like, some people live in states that are really good for real estate, and they still don't do it. I'm like, but you live in that state, like that state's great. I'm like, oh, but I don't know how to, who do I call first? So a lot of people, what I did, I send them to read the rental property investing book again. And I said, read that book and call me back when you have questions, because a lot of other people also didn't know anything, but they want to start, but they don't want to take the time to read and educate themselves or to listen to a podcast. Some people told me, oh, can you give me a summary of the book? Because I don't have time for that. I'm like, really? So if you're not going to put the time on it, then it's not going to work. I'm not going to say real estate is just magical. It doesn't happen that way. That you just get one day a house and then you become rich. No, it doesn't work that way. You had to put some work. You had to put the hard work. And I think I have done that. But I wanted to share my story for moms out there, for parents out there, who think that they're struggling with their kids and or either special needs or not. They have two jobs. They're going to school themselves and they see themselves like, oh, I can't do this. There's more out there. You could do it. There is everything. All the answers are within you. You could do it.
Well, I can't think of a better mom for your son to be being raised with, because it sounds like you're not going to give him an excuse no matter what disability supposedly it is. There is no excuse, and it sounds like he's going to do great because you didn't give yourself an excuse, and the people that you're helping, you're not going to allow them to have an excuse. Emelyn, Diego, and I are probably going to reach out to you after. We'd love to have you come speak at Rat Race to Fi, our mastermind, and tell your story, because we don't want anybody to be able to have an excuse. And if there is anyone, I think you would be the person to be like, look, I'm literally too busy, and I would probably give you a hall pass. I'd be like, yeah, you got a lot going on, and I get it. So like, I think like what you're doing is amazing. I can't wait to interview you again in a year or so and just see what you've done. I think it's going to be amazing.
Thank you so much, Guy. And again, people, you could do it. Get a team, get it together. I'm sure that there are people listening out there and that will be listening to this that will be very inspired. And, feel free to reach out. I have a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram asking me how I'm doing it. And again, it's not me. I know that whatever you're doing, whatever you will be doing will come out from you. You have it in you. So please continue to cultivate that inside you, the resiliency, the persistence, continue to do it. There will be a lot of more me out there if we were looking into ourselves and saying, I got it. I know. Self-confident, I think it's also another thing that's important.
And Emelyn, for anybody that does want to reach out, what is the best way for them to contact you? What is your IG handle?
Well, it's
Or
Emelyn.
email, whatever
It's
you want.
Emelyn 18 Fernandez. You can find me on Instagram as Emelyn 18 Fernandez, or on Facebook as Emelyn Fernandez. I'm not a star yet, guys. I don't have none of that stuff because I really don't have time to do like a whole bunch of Instagram and Facebook. But people that reach out to me, I always talk to them. I always answer the questions for free and everything, right? I feel like God has put me in this situation to help. I'm a natural helper, so I do it from the bottom of my heart, and as I can, right? Sometimes I cannot answer the emails because I'm actually working, but one day, hopefully, I'll have more time for that.
Sooner than you think. Sooner than you think. Emelyn, thanks so much for coming on and sharing your story. It's huge. It's our honor to have you on. I mean, your story is impactful and it's powerful, and it's going to affect a lot of people positively. So thanks so much for giving us an hour of your day and telling us what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you guys soon, and I'll continue to listen to you, Felipe and Diego, and learning more from you guys as well.
Thank you.
So
Thank
much.
you.
The Rat Race to Fi podcast, where we discuss money, mindset, real estate investing, and ways to achieve financial independence. Whether you are a rookie or a veteran needing new ideas for investing or creating side hustles, you're in the right place.